Hello, this is Brett from Club Manager, and in this video I'm going to give you a complete overview of Club Manager, so sit back and relax. So to give you some background about Club Manager, Club Manager has been going for about 8 or 9 years now. It's used by clubs all over the world, and it's used by all kinds of different businesses. So in the leisure industry, it's used by gyms, golf clubs, dance schools, martial arts clubs, gymnastics clubs, and all sorts. But it's also used for subscription-based businesses as well. So it's used to manage about 1.5 million members. And obviously, with that volume of members, the security of the data is absolutely paramount. So we've got the full infrastructure to support that. We're one of the fastest growing membership management systems on the planet. So I've just said it's used to manage 1.5 million members. It's probably a lot more when you watch this video. So we've also won National Fitness Awards Products of the Year. And we've been runner-up for Supplier of the Year for the UK Active Flame Awards. So we're very proud of that. So you're probably watching this because you've got your own demo account. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to log in and take you through it. So straight away, we're taken to the Today screen when we log into Club Manager. And this gives you a complete overview as to what's happening right now in your club and what's happened over the last week. So within your account and within this account, there's demo data. So there are 10 demo members at different stages of the membership life cycle, just so that we got something to refer to, you've got something to refer to within your account. So it's worth pointing out that I'm going to do this demo in Club Manager Plus. So that gives you all of the features. That's our top end product, gives you all of the features, unlimited memberships and unlimited everything. We are a manager. So as a manager, we can see everything within the account. We can change all of the settings, we can view our accounts, and we can do our day job. So we can sell memberships and subscriptions and put things through the till and that kind of thing. There are various different other levels of access, so bookings managers, instructors, and things like that. And those members can't see your accounts and they can't change your settings. So we're on the Today screen. As I say, we've got this demo data in here. It will be your live account that you're looking at. So if you want to go ahead with Club Manager, that will be your account you're using. So when you're ready, then you can click this Remove Demo Data link here. This gets rid of this big section up here, and it gets rid of all your demo data as well. So it just leaves all the members that you've added yourself. So you're ready to get started straight away. So we've logged in, it's the start of our shift. We have a quick look, see what's going on today. So we can see down here, Nicole has just come through the door and she was shortly after Anna. And so she swiped into the check-in system. Now Club Manager can support many different ways for checking in. So not only do we support lots of different hardware systems, so we support biometric readers, barcode readers, magnetic swipe cards, RFID cards. We also support door entry control systems. But of course, it could be something like registration on your iPad or your smartphone or something like that. There are lots of different ways. And probably if you've already got a system in place, Club Manager will probably already support that system, how it works. So you can see that Anna's checked into the club. It would have played a nice positive sound and it would show her basic information on the check-in screen and it will say her membership's all active and okay. Now, when Nicole came into the club, you can see that there's a message here that says payment required. She would have seen that same message on her check-in screen. So it would say payment required and it would have played a negative sound. So your member of staff would have known they would have to make some kind of intervention for Nicole. Now you can see that there's a speech bubble here. So this means that when Anna checked into the club, a nice message greeted her on the sign-in screen. That said that she's left her Walkman. So it would have said something like, sorry Anna, you've left your Walkman. Please see a member of staff to get it back. And I'll come back to member messages later. So this little section here, this updates in real time. So if somebody comes into the club, they will pop up here. Now in the middle here, we've got our tasks for today. Now we haven't got any tasks, which is good, but we'll come back to this shortly. Now, because we're logged in as a manager, there are subtle differences when you use Club Manager as a manager. And one of those is that here we got today's income. So we can see what we've taken on the premises, split down by cash card or check. So that when we come to do our cashing up at the end of the day, we got that there. Alternatively, you can also print out a Z read if you wish. Now, in this section here, we got our favorite reports, so we can pin the reports that are most valuable to us. So straight out of the box, it depends what products you've got, so what products you're looking at. But with Club Manager Plus and Club Manager Standard, it comes with 90 built-in reports and about 40 to 50 charts and things like that, which I'll come to shortly. So whatever way of viewing your business that you prefer, we will have a report or a chart for that. Okay, so below that, we got our active member snapshot. So this is what's the status of your members in your club right now. So the top row, generally good things. And here we got 2 members increasing their frequency to the club. And over here we got 2 members who've attended over the last 7 days. Not so good with the demo data, but in real time is all positive things. And the bottom row are not so good. So we got 1 member on red alert, 1 sleeping member, 1 member's missed a payment. And you can see that all these are buttons. So if I click on one of these, it will show you who those members are. And it will show you on the all members grid, and I'll come back to that as well shortly. So beneath this, we've got what's happened in the club this week compared to the last 12 weeks. So with the demo data, it's a bit bumpy. But of course, when you get up and running with your club, these will be fairly straight lines. Of course, with things like membership started, you might see seasonal changes, but it should be fairly flat. But hopefully, you're going to see that increasing. It means you're making more and more sales as the weeks go on. And this number here, this represents how we've done this week. So far this week, we've had 8 members who've come into the club. In the middle here, we got our emails that are recently opened section. So this updates in real time as our members and our prospective members read their emails. So I'll be coming back to emails again, but emails are completely free to send out from Club Manager. And really easy to do broadcast messages and mail merge and things like that. So as I say, I'll be coming back to that, but we can see here that Rhonda and Dave have just opened up the seasonal promotional newsletter that we've just sent out. And as I say, this updates in real time, and these colors here indicate the member status. So green means they're active members, but if we start seeing members pop up that are blue, it means they're prospective members. And if we start seeing the same person reading our emails, the prospective member that keeps reading our emails, we might think, I'm going to give that person a call because they're reading our newsletters, so we should be able to sell them a membership or a subscription. Now over here in this example here, we got our immediate bookings. So today we got our Sparta class coming up. Tomorrow we got yoga and Sparta as well, and we can see the how full that class is. So this line fills up here with our attendees, and we can jump straight through to the registration page, or we can jump straight through to view the booking, which I'll come back to shortly. And if we scroll down to the bottom, we got a list of everybody's birthday. So we can see in this example, it's Rob's birthday today. Now, of course, in your club, you could have anywhere between 5 to 50 member photos down here of everybody's birthday. So it's always good to just have a quick view over that, because if any of those members come in today, or you speak to any of those members today, then you can wish them happy birthday. Alternatively, we can click the view all link here to view them on the all members grid. So that's the today dashboard. What I'm going to go through now, I'm going to go through the process of adding a prospective member into the system, how we engage that prospective member, and then how we go on to sell a membership to that member. So we've got a member that's had a walk around in the club, or they've contacted us by phone. I use the word club, of course, it might be some other business. But either way, they've got in touch, but they're not going to be buying a membership or a subscription at this time. So at the end of the phone call, or after they've had a walk around, or they've watched a class or whatever, we're going to say, okay, let's add some of your basic information into the system. So we're going to go to Add Member here. Now, before I go any further, we can see that each page from now on has this section here that prompts us to watch a video. Now, this is because we've got training mode active. So every new user you add to the system, and you can add users under here, and there's no limit to how many users you add. So you'll be adding your staff and giving them their own login details here. And each member of staff that receives login details will start off in training mode. So for the first 3 weeks, they're prompted to watch videos which explain how each different section works. So say if you have a new member of staff start in 18 months time, you'll create a new user account for them. They start in training mode. They can learn the system in their own time. Now, of course, you can also switch training mode off right there. So we've had a member who's had a walk around the club or given us a call, and we're going to start taking some basic information. So you see straight away, Club Manager's prompting us to choose whether we're adding a prospective member or whether we're adding an active member. So this member, she's not going to be buying a membership at this stage, unfortunately. She's going to be walking out the club, or she's just hung up on the phone. So we're going to add her in as a prospect. So we're going to say this member was Gillian. I'm going to put in some basic information here. You can see that Club Manager's given me a form where I can put in as much information as she's given me. Ordinarily, she might not give you the date of birth or the address, but she might give you her email address. She might give you her cell phone number or home number, something like that. So I'm going to put in my email address there. And I'll put in a made-up number there. And here we got any notes that might be relevant for the member. So any health concerns, any health issues that the member might have that your staff might need to be aware of, or your instructors might need to be aware of. So in this example, I'm going to put something along the lines of bad knees, for example. There we go. And I'm going to save that. Now, because I'm adding a prospective member, the next page in the process is prompting me to create a task. So this is a prospective member. We're not selling a membership to them, unfortunately. We are going to create a task instead, and that task is a follow-up task. So this allows us to create tasks for our members of staff or ourselves to say, okay, this person's had a look around the club or given us a call or made contact in some way. Now, what we're going to do, we've given them some information. Let's follow this up in a few days' time. So you can see that it's creating this task for us. It's forward dated that task a number of days. And it's prompted us to put in some basic information. So we might say that Gillian, when we did her walk around, she was interested in, say, the 12-month membership. Now she might say, well, I'm at work during the day, so it's best to give me a call after work on my mobile. So what we're going to put is a mobile phone or cell phone in there. And she might say, well, best time to contact me is after 5 p.m. So we'll put that in there as well. Now here you can see it's prompted us to, that task is going to prompt us on the 29th. I'm going to choose today's date, purely for demonstration purposes. And here you can see we can assign it to a particular member of staff. Now with this account, there is only the one user account, but of course when you add your staff, you might assign this to your salespeople. So let's save that. So you can see that straight away, Gillian's journal is starting to populate, and we've got this follow-up task in there. So Gillian's hung up the phone, she's walked out of the club. What we're going to do now, we're going to send her a nice email, a standard welcome email. So we just go to her details, we can click on the email address here, and what we might have pre-created a template, which is a good to see you today type email. You can see we've got a seasonal promotional email in there already. Now, as I say, emails are completely free to send out, and it's really easy to create your own template. So I'm just going to quickly show you how to do that. So we hover over settings, go to email templates. We'll create one in there. You can see you've got some base themes. And when I click on the theme, it's going to show your logo in there. Now we can style your account. So if you want to send us your logo, we will style your account. So it'll show your logo up there, and it will show your logo on the sign-in screen and emails and various other places. But in this instance, I'm going to use this basic template email here. And now you can see that we can also do things like mail merge. So if we do 2 chevrons here, we can see we can put in member information. And you can see at the bottom here, it populates that email with our club's information. Now, I'm not going to create a template at this time. I'm going to jump straight back to Gillian and I'm going to send her an email, but I'm going to handwrite it. So I'm going to say, good to see you today. And again, when we handwrite emails, we can put in our mail merge information. So this also applies to SMS text messages, which I'll come to shortly as well. We'll do a very nice email and we'll send that. So Gillian's now walked out of the club and we've now sent her that nice email. Okay, so as each member of staff logs in each day, it becomes their job to check out these tasks for today and to see what they need to do for that day. So you can see that now we've just signed up, we just added that prospect and we created that task which we created for today. And you can see that here now Club Manager is prompting us to complete that task. So every day your staff will be going in here and they'll be saying, okay, what do we need to do today? So in this example, we need to give Gillian a call. And we also have that on the sales agenda as well, if that's in your account. So the sales agenda, it lists all of our tasks that we need to complete, whether they've been completed or not, the day they're due. And it allows us to continually create tasks until we either say, yes, that member's won and we sell a membership, or we say, unfortunately, that member didn't decide to go with us in the end. But we go back today, we'll say it's a few days have passed. We've let Gillian have a few days to think about it. We've given her a call now and she said, yep, actually, I've had a chance to think about it. I will buy a membership, actually. I will sign up with the club. So we've gone to her details here and now we're going to click new membership. So within the demo data, we got 2 demo memberships. We have a 12-month recurring membership and we have a 6-month prepay off-peak membership. Now you're completely free to create your own membership types under settings here, membership types, there's no limit and there's lots of different configurations you can do. So it's worth pointing out now that we're selling a membership to Gillian either when she's on the phone to us or when she's coming to the club. So we're doing a face-to-face sale, but of course you could buy a membership on your website. And there's lots of different ways you can integrate Club Manager with your website, and that's in this website integration section under apps and add-ons. And it's definitely worth having a look there because there's a lot of different things you can do. So, as I say, we've got this 6 months prepay off-peak membership, or we have this 12-month recurring membership. So the recurring membership might be via standing order or direct debit or recurring credit card or debit card payments, or it might be SEPA as well. There are lots of different payment methods that Club Manager supports. So we can also see that we've got the currency here is £35. Of course, that's going to show in whatever currency is relevant for you. So we're going to choose, Gillian's going to choose the 12 months recurring membership, and we're going to say, well, the start date's today. So we're going to click next on that. Now with this particular membership, we've set up a joining fee of 40 and we have our monthly recurring membership of 35. So you can see that because I'm a manager, I can actually change these amounts. Now as a standard instructor, they can't change the amounts. So those amounts will be fixed for them. We might say in this example, well, Gillian, we've been trying to get Gillian on board for a while. We're going to do a special deal for her, and it's just going to be 10, a joining fee of 10. So we're going to say that's 10, and she's going to pay by cash. Now we've got this monthly fee, and Gillian might say to us, actually, it might be best if you can take that on the 1st of each month. So we're going to choose her collection to be on the 1st of each month there. So we're going to click next to that. Okay, so as I mentioned, Club Manager integrates with a lot of different providers, and each one might be slightly different. So with some of the integration providers, or some of the collection providers, you will get a prompt here to say, are we setting up a SEPA payment or a direct debit payment, or are we setting up a credit card or a debit card payment? And it's going to prompt you to put in the bank details or the card details at this stage. But as I say, we would need to speak with you about that directly, because there are lots of different ways. So it's difficult to demonstrate that to you, because it needs to be more relevant to you. So as I say, if we had that integration showing here, we would then put in the bank details or put in the card details. Club Manager will then validate that card or that bank account, and then we'll go to this page where we're reviewing the membership. Now, in this example, it's only a few days before the 1st of October. So in this example, it's given us a warning to say that the payment's going to be sent for collection immediately. And what that means, it's going to be sent and locked, which I'll come back to. So we're going to run through this with a member. This particular membership is valid for 1 year. Has a joining fee of 10. £35 in this example. Monthly payments is going to be collected on the 1st. It's a 12-month contract, so there's 12 payments here, and then those payments are going to roll after that. So if the member's happy with that, we click the Create Membership button, and now it's set up. Now, in that particular example, we hadn't set up any payment method, so Club Manager is now prompting us to set that up. Again, this is, say, credit card collection or SEPA or standing order or direct debit or whatever. So here we can also print out an enrollment form or terms and conditions or anything that's relevant for you. And if I click on that there, you can see it's mail merged with the members information. It'll have your club logo up here, and then it's got what the members agreed to. So it's got the membership here and then your terms and conditions. It's very easy to change these reports, which I won't go into in this demo. So we've set up the membership, and if we go to payments here, you can see that under the payments section, Club Manager has created the payments that we've just agreed to that were part of our membership, part of our subscription. So you can see there was 10 taken as cash. Then there's monthly payments of 35 taken each month for 12 months. And then Club Manager after that will continually generate those monthly payments. And as I say, there are lots of different ways you can create memberships, you can create subscriptions, and you can do it all under your membership types here. Now, in this example, we have these monthly payments. Now, what's going to happen? Again, it depends very slightly on the method of collecting payments, the automated method of collecting payments. But what happens here, a number of days before this payment is due to be collected, that payment might become locked. On the 1st of October in this example, that payment is collected from the member's bank account, and then a few days afterwards, hopefully that ticks off as green. That means that member's paid, and that will continue up, and all those little circles there will continue to go green, means the payments were collected successfully and paid directly to you. Now, of course, if the payment fails, then that's going to go red, and you'll get a notification on your Today screen right here. It might say Gillian Marshall, payment failed, payment was returned to the bank, something along those lines. And again, doesn't really matter how you collect the payments, you'll still get that message there, whether it's credit card or direct debit or SEPA or whatever. And of course, if Gillian's payment does fail, then when she comes to sign into the club, she's going to hear that negative sound, and it's going to say there's a payment required. So a member of staff can intervene then and take that payment either by cash or maybe they ask Gillian to call the collection agency. Again, it's whatever's relevant to you. Now, if Gillian contacts the club, contacts you in, say, February and says, I'm going away for a full month, I'm going on holiday for a full month, I'm not going to be around. Is there anything you could do with my membership? You might say, okay, well, we'll put your membership on hold for the month, and instead of charging you the full 35, we might just charge you, say, 5, just a holding payment. So all you need to do is click on the date there, change that to 5, click on save, and literally just 5 is going to be collected from Gillian's account on the 1st of February in this example. Okay, so if we go back to our membership that we just sold to Gillian here, you can see that at the bottom here, we've got some statistics. So after we've sold that membership, we might say to Gillian, okay, well, how did you hear about us? So she might say, well, Anna referred me, at which point you can start to type in Anna's name, and you can see you've got your members here. Or she might say, well, I saw you on Facebook, for example, or, I heard your advert on the radio, or whatever's relevant for you. And again, all the sources you can create yourself under the settings here. So we update that, and I'll come back to that bit shortly. So each member has a journal, which we touched on previously. And now you can see we got some various different things that have happened here. You can see that we sent out an email, that good to see you today email, and we can see that email's been read. So you see that got that green tick there, you've got that little eye there to say it's been opened and read. So for example, if you're sending out your terms and conditions to your member and the member says, well, I didn't see them, I didn't get those terms and conditions, you can see whether those terms have been read or not. Now you can see we've also created that task, which we've completed. We've printed out a form and we've changed the payment. And with each of these different actions, we have an audit of who's done what. So, as you use Club Manager, you're going to start to see all of the different things your staff have done with your members. Now you can create journal entries, and if I click on Add Journal there, you can see there are several different journal types we can create. We create a task. So in this example, we might do a 3-month checkup, see if Gillian's happy as a task. We can do appointments. So we might arrange for an appointment with a PT, for example, or an induction or something like that. We can create a member message. That pops up a nice message on the sign-in screen as the member checks into the club, which I'll come back to. We can do an achievements. So, for example, this might be for martial arts clubs or dance schools or something like that, where they move up a grade. Or we can leave notes, and that can be any kind of free text note. So you might say that Gillian had an accident in the club or something like that. Okay, so you can see that we're now starting to build up some information under Gillian's profile here. Now we can also take a photo, and that's very simple. You can either use a webcam attached to the computer, you can use your smartphone, or you can take a photo on your smartphone and upload it via your computer that way, or any other method like that. Now you can see we've also got some tags here. So this allows us to tag and group different types of members. So in this example, Gillian might say, oh, I might be interested in the diet club later on. So we can type in, whoopsie daisy, diet club in there, press return, and we've created that tag. Now there's no limit as to how many tags we can create, and that's against all of our members. So we've just gone through the process of adding a prospective member in, engaging with that prospective member, and then selling a membership and changing payments and having a look at the journal. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you all members. So the all members grid shows all of your members within your club or for your business. You can see we've got them categorized here. We can simply switch between the different groups. So we can go to all of our members here, just our prospective members, those members who didn't buy a membership, those members who are active, those members who expired, and those members who dropped out. Now you can see I can search for any part of the member's name, their company name, their membership number, their card number, their telephone numbers, their email address, or anything like that. So if we miss a phone call from them, from a member, we might say, well, I wonder who gave us a call then. You can type in the telephone number in there, and you can see in this example, we missed a phone call from Han. Now if we'll clear that, now you can see that at the top here, we've got some options to send text messages, emails, or member messages. Now if I go to all, I've not selected anybody in that grid. That means if I click on send SMS, I'm sending a message to everybody. You can see there's 11 messages up here. If I go to just our active members and then go to send, you can see I'm now sending 9 messages. If I sort it by everybody who's joined from 1st of July and then send SMS, you can see I'm just sending 4 messages. And that same logic applies to emails. And again, there is no charge and no limit on to how many emails you can send. There is a charge for SMS, unfortunately. We have to pay the network operator. But that same logic also applies for member messages. Alternatively, we can just click the member names and send messages out like that. So we can see we're sending 4 messages. Now again, when we compose messages, we can either use a predefined template or we can manually enter our text message. And again, it supports mail merge. So if I did member.4 names, when we come to send that text message out to all of the members, it's going to show their name in the message. So it's nicely personalized to them. Okay, so this section here, this shows their routine of their attendance of the club. So you can see we've added Gillian. It shows us no data. Basically means she hasn't done any workouts. She hasn't attended the club. She hasn't swiped in. She hasn't checked into the club. Basically, there's no record of her attendance. As soon as she starts checking into the club, this little lozenge goes to collating. It means that we're recording her attendance, but there's not enough information to know what her pattern is. If she comes into the club 3 times a week for 3 months, she then goes to consistent. Basically means her routine is consistent. If for whatever reason she doesn't come in for 2 weeks and then doesn't come in for 2 weeks after that, she quickly goes to being a red alert. Basically means she's at risk of dropping out. She's dropping off, her routine's dropping off, and she's at risk. Now, what a lot of clubs do is they print out the red alerts report, or they just view their red alerts on the grid here once every couple of weeks or once a month, and they just go through the list of all the member names just to see what's going on with each member. So you know, it might be something obvious like they've gone on holiday, but if a member of staff doesn't recognize why that person's gone to red alert, it's always worth just giving them a phone call, because a lot of times that's all it takes is just a quick phone call, just to see if they're okay, and that just gets them back into their routine, gets them back into the club. You know, it's always something just as simple as that. If they don't, however, come into the club for 2 months, then they go to become a sleeping member. Basically means they might be paying you for their membership, but they're not coming into the club. So depending on your philosophy, when you come to send out your email newsletters, your monthly newsletter, or your promotional newsletters, you might choose to send it out to everybody but the sleeping members, because you might not want to wake up the sleeping members. Now this last section here, member message. Now this is the message that appears when they check into the club. So you normally clubs use this for one of 3 things. They might leave a congratulatory message for a member, just to say, you know, well done, you've been really working hard, you've achieved your goals, or you've been here a year, something along those lines. Or you might say, like in the previous example, that you've left your umbrella or you've left your Walkman, please see a member of staff. Or what we're doing here, we're sending out 9 messages. we might be sending out a promotional message. So we might be saying that we've got a new hoodie in stock, for example, if we're selling products, or we've got some new product in store. We might say, come and have a look. So Gillian's coming to the club. We've left her a member message to say, we got a new hoodie in stock. Come and have a look. And she might go up to the counter where you'll have Club Manager running as a till. Now, Club Manager works really well on the smartphones. It works really well on tablets, and it works really well in the browser. And a till is a really good example of that. But with the till, you can also connect it to a physical till. So this could be running. There could be a couple of tills on your desk, connected up to receipt printers and cash drawers. Now, selling a product through the till is really easy. We can type a member name in there, choose the products they want, a t-shirt, choose our payment method, and then complete. Now, with the card integration, if we paid for that by card, then it would prompt us to put in the card details right there. Now, we don't need to put a member's name in there. If we leave that blank, then we're just selling a product to a guest. Now you can see that we can group products. So we've got hot drinks here, and under hot drinks, we've got coffee and tea. And we've also got full stock control in there. So if I quickly go to all products, you can see we've got good stock level for all of those, apart from t-shirt and water. And if I go back to our till there, you can see that because we're getting low, we've got these little colors, little orange balls here that show us we're getting low of stock. And as soon as we run out of stock, that goes red. Okay, so with Club Manager Plus comes the bookings module. Now, creating bookings, creating classes is really easy. So we choose a class up here. Thursday, we might do a spinning class, for example. We can choose a time that's running from. Now we're going to say 1 o'clock to 1:45. We're going to choose that it repeats. Now, if I just tick that, it assumes that it repeats weekly, but we can click Edit Schedule here to change how it repeats and whether it ends. Here we choose our facility. Now with the demo data, we got 2 facilities, Classroom 1 and Classroom 2, and that shows it within a different color on the calendar there. So I'm going to choose Classroom 2 there. We can choose a product for pay-as-you-go classes. So when the member comes in, they will then need to pay for that class through the till, and it records that transaction and that the member has paid for it. And then we choose the member of staff that's running the class. Now there are no demo instructors in the account. So we can also choose the minimum and the maximum attendees. So we might say, well, to run the spinning class, we need at least 5 people to be doing it to make it financially viable. And well, we've only got 20 bikes, so we might say 20 in there. Now, if I save that, now because we assign that to Classroom 2, if I could close, you can see that we've got the spinning class in blue there. And you can see if I go to Classroom 2 there, it just shows everything that's happening in Classroom 2. Now, filling up the class is really easy. So your account will come with online bookings. So that is a smartphone web app. You can also integrate it into your website. There are also calendars you can integrate onto your website that shows everything that's coming up and whether there are spaces remaining. So, you're going to see your classes fill up as people book onto your classes via their smartphone. Alternatively, we can just add members in just by typing their information in here. And then we'll save that there. And close that. Now you can see that each class has this indicator here showing us how full it is. Now we've got 5 members on that class, so it's not showing any red for us because we've got enough to run that class. Now, Club Manager does support a full waiting list, so once we get over the maximum attendees, Club Manager will alert us that we're starting to add members onto the waiting list. And you'll see a red bar creeping down from this end, showing us how many people are on the waiting list. Now, typically, if the instructor, so we got this class, the spinning class is running at 1 o'clock. If the instructor brings us at 12 to say, I'm not feeling very well, I can't make it into the class, then all you need to do is click on the class here, click send SMS to attendees, and we'll say, sorry, class isn't running today. And you can send that. It means all of your members in here will receive that text message. Now, registration to the class happens automatically from your check-in screen. So as the member comes into the club, signs into the club, it will automatically register them for the class, if they're attending the class, that is. Alternatively, you can use this registration form. So if your classes are outdoors, or if you have satellite classes, or if it's just easier to stand at the front of your class with an iPad, then you would use something like this. And registering attendance this way is really easy, because all you do is just tap the members. And you can see you've got no-show rates as well on there. So if you have a repeat offender, so we might say Joanna, she repeatedly misses her classes, we might go to edit her details here, and we've got this ban from booking option here. So that stops her from booking online. If she tries to book online, then she gets a prompt to say, please ring the club. And then it's down to you to choose whether to add Joanna onto the class. And you can see that we got that notification there. Okay, so that is bookings. So each of these key areas comes with a dashboard. So we've got the members dashboard, we've got our sales dashboard, our product dashboard, our bookings dashboard, and our accounts dashboard. Now, each of these dashboards are fairly similar. You can see that straight away we start off with the charts. We can choose any number of charts. We've got some time-based reports up here. Then we've got the time frame to view the chart or the report. So in this example, I'm going to choose membership sales year on year since the start of the year. Now with the demo data, there's not too much information here, so the line's a bit wibbly wobbly. But after being using Club Manager for a couple of years, you get some really good indication as to how you're doing as a business. So this grey line here, this shows us how we were doing last year. Now, because there are no sales in the demo data last year, this grey line's flat line at the bottom here. But of course, you would see a grey line behind that orange line, so you can compare very easily how you're doing last year. Now, there are lots of different charts, and I won't go through them all, but some of the key ones are, say, our member sources. So we can see that 3 members came through Facebook, 1 member from our local newspaper, and 1 from a walk-in. We might see our highest attendees. So Han is one of our highest attendees. He's come in 8 times year to date. Rob 7, Christina 6, and so on. And again, we can change the time frame to any relevant time, or we can manually enter the date range in here. We can also see things like our age analysis of the club. So most of our members that join this month, well, 1 member that joined this month is between 15 to 19. Let's change that back to year to date. And we can see that our average age of this year is between 40 to 44. Now, some of the other key ones are things like our attending member ratio. That shows us what percentage of our active members are actually attending the club. So we can see in August, 87% of our active members, that is members with a valid membership or subscription, were actually registered in their attendance. So again, there are lots of different reports, and it's something really for you to go through in your own time to see what works for you. So under there, we got what's happened today and what's happened yesterday. Very quick snapshot. In this section here, we have the growth of your club. So after you've been using Club Manager for over a year, you get a very quick overview as to how you're performing this year over the last 30 days to how you're performing last year in the same period. So if you sold 20 memberships in 30 days last year and you sold 30 this year, then you would have a growth of your sales of 50%. So that would light up green, show you 50%. And hopefully, all this section is going to be green, means your business is always growing and improving. So if we scroll down, we've got, again, lots of different reports. So if you sell more pay in full or prepay memberships, and you prefer to print out a report to see who's coming up to their expiry date, you can print this report down here. We've got some retention reports. So we've got our red alerts. So as I was saying earlier, if you want to have a meeting with your staff once every 2 weeks to go through your red alerts, you can print out the report here and it gives you everyone on that list. We've got our 7, 14 and 28 day retention alerts. And basically what that means is everybody who hasn't come in over the last 14 days, but did come in 14 days before that. It's just another way of trying to identify those members who might be at risk of dropping out. And over here, we've got a lot of fairly simple standard reports. One of the key ones, if you have a club that deals mostly with children, then a good one for you might be this week's birthday. It's a nice poster you can print out that gives everybody's birthdays that week in this nice format, and it's addressed from you. Alternatively, if you're like a club that prefers to post happy birthday messages on, say, Facebook, or actually physically post birthday cards out, then maybe the forthcoming birthday report is for you, because that shows all of the active members' birthdays coming up, and it also gives their address as well. Okay, and as I say, each of these areas has their own dashboard. So we've got our sales dashboard under here, deals with things like conversion rates and attrition. We have our products dashboard, our purchases dashboard, deals with our sales. We have our bookings dashboard, of course, it deals with our classes or our events. And then we have our accounts dashboard. Now, as I say, only managers can see the accounts dashboard. And of course, that deals with your financial income. So we've got this income analysis chart that shows you the financial income of the business. And it splits it down between membership income and product income. So the light blue is your income you've made for product sales, and your orange is what you've made from memberships. And again, there's lots of reports that you can go through in your own time, but one of the key ones, one of the management reports, is this detailed account summary here. So we can see that today, this is something you could look at if you're on holiday. If you're sitting on the beach with your smartphone, you can have a quick look, see how the club's performed today, how the business performed today. And in this example, we can see we've joined one new member, Gillian. We've had income for 4 different members for their memberships, and we've sold all these products through the till. So at the bottom here, we've got a summary of the take-ins for the day, split down into cash and check. Now, at the end of your financial year, you can put your start and end dates of your financial year in here, and then you can click the export down the bottom here. And because all of your income is done through Club Manager, if you hand that over to your accountant, half of their job is then done, because all of your income is just on those spreadsheets in one place. Okay, so final page of Club Manager is this payment statements page. Now, this is a kind of a bank statement overview, a month-by-month overview of your membership income for the month. So we can see that for September, we had 84% of our member payments were successful, but 15% failed, unfortunately, was unpaid. And then we can compare how we're doing over the last 12 months. Now, again, this information, unfortunately, the demo data is a bit wibbly wobbly because there's not that much data. But of course, once you get up and running with Club Manager, you're going to get a nice straight line. Hopefully, that's going to be increasing for you again. And at the bottom here, you've got a much smaller line as to the payments that are failing. Now beneath that, we've got 4 big boxes, and these are the different types of payments and their statuses. So at the bottom here, you've got everybody that's paid. Then we have 2 unpaid boxes. So we've got this red unpaids, stand unpaids. We got what we call yellow unpaids. None here in this example. But the yellow unpaids are the payments that were missed by members who are outside of their contract period. So in the example of Gillian, we signed her up to a 12-month contract membership. If Gillian paid for 6 months and then missed a payment, she is within her contract, so it would show as a red unpaid here. So either a collecting agent would be responsible for chasing up that debt, or it'd be a case of you or your staff contacting that member to remind them that they have agreed to a contract. But of course, if Gillian signed up for a 12-month contract, paid for 18 months and then missed a payment, she is outside of her contract period. So she would appear here as a yellow unpaid. And therefore, it's more of a sales call, really, just to see if she would like to choose a different membership. Now, this section here, unexplained payments. Now, with Club Manager, as I've mentioned before, you can have payments from all kinds of different sources. So you're not limited to just one source. You can have all kinds of different sources. So if you've been running your business for a number of years, you might have income coming from various different places, and you can upload your statements in Club Manager to mark off your member payments. Now, of course, when you first come to upload a statement, there might be people showing in your bank statement who aren't members in your Club Manager account. So, for example, if a husband is paying for their wife's membership, you might have the husband's name on the bank statement, but of course the wife's name in the account. So the husband will appear here with the payment amounts, and all you need to do, and you only need to do it once, is you copy the external reference, the bank reference. You will find a member, assign it to them, and then resolve the transaction. Then going forward, all payments made by that person will be assigned to that particular member. Now, in that example of uploading statements, that's very rare because most payment providers we integrate with, so it's highly likely you'll be using Club Manager fully integrated. So that was a quick overview of Club Manager. I hope you like it. If you decide to get started with Club Manager, data import is completely free. Getting started is completely free. There's no cost to set up. You've probably already got your account. And we also do a free training session if you're a Club Manager Standard or a Club Manager Plus user. So we can get 3 or 4 of your members of staff around a computer. We do it via screen share, so you can be wherever you'd like it to be. And we simply get your staff doing everything they need to do and fully up to speed with Club Manager within the club. So that as soon as they go live with Club Manager, they're fully up to speed with how it all works. Okay, so that was a complete overview of Club Manager. If you've got any questions, please give us a call or give us an email. We look forward to getting you started with Club Manager. Thank you very much for watching, and speak to you soon.